Hello everyone and welcome to another section of Balandi Belanga. It's your host here, Umlandi Belanga, the follower of the sun wherever it's going. I'm coming to you in a Sunday afternoon. I'm not sure of the hour. I would say, I would go that direction. This segment I want to reintroduce the Lord's Prayer. I want to do with you guys the Lord's Prayer in full, so not to be too long. Here it goes. We had said, Our Father, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, or like this if you will. Thy kingdom come, the throat chakra. So it's our Father, the crown chakra, who art in heaven, the pineal gland. Hallowed be thy name. And then thy kingdom come, that's the arms, the chest and the heart. Thy kingdom come and thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, that's the stomach. And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. That's the scales, the kidneys, izinto. Then we go, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. That's the land down south, the land of the Gentile, the genitalia, Gentile genitalia, the land of Egypt, the land where the Son is crucified or crossified. The two crucifixions being the land down south and Golgotha, the base of the skull. But we'll get into that later. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Then we go, for thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory. Also, for thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. So those are the 12 sections of the Lord's Prayer. It's spread out in the human body. And of course, representing the crown, Aries, the neck, Taurus, the arms of labor, Gemini, the chest cavity, Cancer, the Cancerian, the Cancer crab, or the scarab, that's Cancer. Then you have Leo, the heart. Then you have Virgo, the stomach, or the solar plexus. The heart, of course, being the heart plexus. And then we have, after the solar, then we have forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those. That is the sacral chakra. That's the sacral, by the scales. Where are the scales again? The scales are at sunset. When the sun dips below the horizon, that's where the scales are. That is where the hell is. The burning of sulfur, the stomach area, your digestive system. That is where the hell is. The burning brimstone, your digestive organs, your digestive gases. That is the hell, or in some mythologies, it is at Libra. That is where the gateway to hell is. Hell being the underworld, because from scales of Libra, you go Scorpio, and then from Scorpio, you're in the underworld, or the winter months. That is the entrance. And now we have, as taught from Christian mystics, we have like some of our sects abaprofeti and namapostoli, the guys who have taken this science now and assimilated it into the Christian sects. That is why the prayer would end here at the solar plexus, because from the solar plexus going down, it's the underworld. All your important organs, they appear. Your vital organs, they are all up here. And so if you like, these two parts of the human body, you can say it's Cain and Abel, or the higher self and the lower self. That's where we get those terminologies. And then from now, the land of the scorpion, you go to the thigh. So thine is the kingdom, the power, Sagittarius. That's that energy there. That's Sagittarius, the sergeant. That's where you get such words. That's why he's half man and half horse. It's the Sarge. And then you come to the knees, the Capricorn, or the sea goat, as that's how that image is it's displayed. It's displayed as the sea goat. It depicts an animal that can live both on land and in the sea. The polar opposite of the crab, of course. The crab being the winter solstice, and the sea goat being, the crab being the winter solstice, and the crab being the summer solstice, and the sea goat being the winter solstice. Sorry about that. Yes, you gotta reset that circle to the southern hemisphere. Yes, and so that is inverted. Our Cancer is in, our summer solstice is in Cancer. It's this area. And then our version of Capricorn energy is, it's the knees. That would be around June. This, of course, being December, sorry. Yes, and then the knees, after the knees, you go to Aquarius. The period that we're going to be departing now. The Aquarian man holding a pitcher of water, the cleansing flood that ushers feasts such as the removal of leaven, the spring cleaning, together with the winds and the fires burning, preparing the world to be reborn again, like to rise out of the ashes like a phoenix. That is what is happening now. And then after Aquarius, you go into Pisces, the Piscean fish, the time we are approaching. You go into the Piscean fish, or your feet. That's where we put the Pisces, the two fish. It's still talking about water a lot. It's interesting that we're actually getting the last kicks of the dying horse winter. They're actually so late into August. It's actually quite interesting that it's even snowing while it's raining at the same time. Because a lot of up north, in the northern hemisphere, that is what happens around this time. So that's quite interesting, where you would have the snow melting, and you would have a bit of rain as well before you enter into the land of promise, the land of spring, the land of our yearly return. And so in the land of promise, in the land of spring, we've got the two poles of our lodestone, of our magnet, being the right hemisphere, the Holy of Holies, and the left sphere, the holy place. being also home to the cherubim or the cerebrum. Yes, that is where these word plays actually come from. That is where you would have your cerebrum or the cerebrum. And it is into the cerebrum, that is where the mana now, or the energy or the life force that comes every month to renew the earthly temple of Solomon. Oh yes, by the way, you are the temple of Solomon, soul of man, the soul of man, that is you. Aries, all these are houses in the children of Jacob. Those are the houses. And so this is where you would have the cerebrum, and this is where you would find the cherubim and the seraphims. And so this is where, on the right-hand sphere, that is where the Ark of Covenant, that is where the Ark would be, if you are looking at it from that system. And of course, we can go deeper into it if you want, and look at the different aspects of the brain and how they line up to the temple. For me, some of this stuff is a waste, because what do we need? We need to start inventing. So anything which is not taking us in that direction, for me, it's a better waste of time. But anyway, so yes, so that is what we have here. The heaven. The symbol of the heaven is the lamb, of course. You know that image where you have Jesus with a lamb across his shoulders? And the lamb, I don't know if you've noticed, the head of the lamb, it's always facing east. Because that is where the lamb in the promised land comes from, the east. So they would have it in that depiction. There's also glyphs in Egypt with the same depiction, because they are both in the north. They are using the same the same zodiac. Because the Hebraic or the Greek zodiacs that they use, the Dendera stone in Egypt, it predates them. So it is the same knowledge, and so realistically that symbology would represent the same thing. And that is that land. That's that land that your father, the Father promised us. That is that land we come to every year. That is where the temple is. That is where the throne of God is. If we were to speak literally a bit, or metaphorically, that is where the throne of the Most High is, whose hair is like wool. The wool being the lamb, of course. You know, that is where the throne of the Most High is. And then you move on now. You move on to hallowed be thy name, the pineal. The pineal gland, or pineal. Jacob's pineal. That is where the portal. That is where the portal starts. Starting, of course, where? In the land down south, and then coming up Jacob's ladder, or the Jordan River, or Eridanus, the constellation Eridanus. These are the same things. Or the jet pillar of Asa, your spine, uhlanga lizizwe. Same thing. So that's the pineal. This is where Jacob sees the angels climbing up and down the stairway. The 33 stairway, the 33 vertebrae that take you to here, the base of the skull. Remember I said that there are two crucifixions. Jesus is crucified in Calvary, and he's crucified in the land of Egypt. It's a pity I forget that scripture, but yeah. Those are the two crucifixions. That crucifixion, of course, okay, I'll get into it a bit later. Maybe not, but yeah, I'll try and get into it. And so, yes, that would be now, yeah, the land of The crucifixion, where was I? Yes, that would be the terminus now for Jacob's ladder. The angels now being the electrical signals that are the electrical signals through your cerebral spinal system or your nervous system, running up and down between heaven, delivering messages. Delivering messages to the houses of Israel, coordinating the nation of Israel or the temple of Solomon. Holy holies, holy, then we get into the courts, outer courts, going all the way down to the feet. The temple of man. At the Pineal, this is where Solomon's ring with the 72 Goshea, or the 72 demons, or the 72 daemons, it's here, it's your pineal. The 72, that's those petals on that chakra petal, if I remember correctly. It's not literal. It's not talking about a literal ring. That is the ring of the soul of man there. That is your seat. Your seat of consciousness, if I can put it like that. Just to go in a bit deeper here. The heavenly manna that comes to the body. Remember that allegory from the Old Testament? Israel was wandering in the bushes, 40, it's still that same story of the son, or Moses, 40 years in Egypt, 40 years wandering the desert, and 40 years traveling to Canaan. That's 12. It's still that same story. So Israel from the land of Egypt, the land down south, the land of the Gentile, journeying, of course, being the Ida and the Pingala nerve work, or inyoka, izinyoka, or as we say ngesintu, indlondlo. They don't, ngesintu, I don't know why they don't see it as plural. Or umbilini, as ubaba umuntu taught. Ukunyuka kombilini, the journey from the land of the Gentile to where? To the promised land, Canaan. The land flowing with milk and honey. The land flowing with milk and honey. Now, the pineal gland in these schools, it is given the masculine principle or the masculine aspect. In the scripture now, it would be Joseph. And then you would have the pituitary organ given the feminine, and that would be your Mary. The pituitary and the pineal gland. Joseph and Mary. And it is between these two, that is where we get the Immaculate Conception. Because the seed that comes into the temple each month, or the flame that would stand between, there'd be a time when in Israel, and there would be fire coming out from the Holy of Holies. That would be the life force or the life energy that comes into a temple every month to rejuvenate us monthly. If you know, coming monthly. When it enters now into the cerebrum, I won't go into too deeply. Those two places, the pituitary and the pineal, that mana now, which is of spirit or moya, it is now materialized. When it is here, it is taken some form of materiality. And so between these two organs, this fluid now is what? Is differentiated. It is this differentiation and then this fluid going further down the temple. That is what now would be the Immaculate Conception. The mana or the immaterial or the premium mobile, which has been materialized, going down into the system now. The Immaculate Conception, the conception of the seed, but that only reaches full seed form or manifestation in seed down here in the solar plexus or the womb every month. And so that is where now the story of the Immaculate Conception comes from. That is one angle from the schools of Christian mysticism. It is those two bodies. They're coming together to create a seed. It's not literal, guys. It's not literal. Of course, that seed being born where? In your solar plexus. Having first dipped though to your sacral. To your sacral, to your land of Egypt. First it dips into Egypt, then it must escape Egypt. Just as the Israelites escaped Egypt. It must pass through the Red Seas. Or the gates of hell, if you were to use not Da Vinci, it's Dante's Peaks, is Inferno. Those stages from hell to the Premier Mobile, or to the Prime Mother. It's that journey. In that context, it's of the journey of the soul. In what's happening inside, as above, so below, as within, so without. It's the journey happening within, monthly, according to the teachers of this knowledge. So yes, now we have Joseph as boots in our night sky, and we have Virgo as Mary in our night sky, but that principle is also happening in here as well. And then we come to our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy kingdom come. The throat chakra. Is it not interesting that the kingdom, the throat, and the kingdom speech, abracadabra, blah, 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 blah. The kingdom. This is where the kingdom is built. In the vibratory world. In the vibratory world, it's the vibratory world that gets movement from that state of mind, of rest, that state of perpetual rest. It's the vibratory world. And so the way we use our abracadabra is important and it matters. If you're always using your voice chakra to belittle yourself and break yourself down, what do you think is going to happen? This is why in these ancient schools, you will find monks, they will sit with one vowel and they will repeat it. They will repeat it for hours. Om, 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 om. And they will go on with the understanding that you can rewrite your code or your DNA through sound, through understanding sound. And that is where that system comes from. We've lost a lot of that knowledge over the years, but the use of your voice chakra is very important. If you cannot use it properly, you might not be heard, no matter how good what you're trying to say is, or no matter how revolutionary what you have is. If your voice chakra is weak, your kingdom as well. Kingdom is going to be weak as well, and you can rebuild it. You can rebuild your Temple of Solomon. Remember that the Temple of Solomon was not built with any hammer or chisel. It was built in silence. It was built in silence. It was built in silence. Again, the allegory in the Kibra Nagast, the allegory of the Queen of Sheba. The Queen of Sheba, Ethiopia being the land down south. Sheba meaning 7, the land down south. And she comes to where? The Temple of Solomon to speak to Solomon. It's still that same allegory. The Queen of Sheba coming up to the land of to Jerusalem to meet with Solomon. It's still that allegory. It's still that allegory. And so yes, that is how we built your temple. That is how you build your temple. You guys should watch, there's this series, American Gods. It's sick. It's sick. If you wanna have a glimpse of what I'm talking about, go look at it. There's in season 2. It's a pity that they're not going to be redoing it. In season 2, there's episodes where Bilquis being the Queen of Sheba. Yes, actually, yeah, this is perfect. Where she gets detained in this place where her powers are contained. And she uses, to keep herself sane, she actually uses mantras as she's being tortured. Through sound, being bombarded with sound, or being constantly having water sprayed on you. She survives the onslaught because she is in mantra. One of her mantras in that small space is that I am not confined into this space. Check it out, guys. It's amazing what these writers and these script writers and these authors are trying to tell us. If only we had the patience to actually listen and look, not based on skin color or not based on whatever background or baggage we bring into reading something, and just look at it for what it is. And so if you have already started this journey of trying to understand how to align or get your body whole, you'll appreciate what they're trying to say in that program. And so yes, that is how you build the temple. The Abra Cadabra. And then from here we go into, this is your kingdom come. And then we go into the will. The will. This is where the will of man is executed. What does the Bible say? By the sweat of your brow, by the sweat of your labor, that is how you will eat. That is how you will eat. And of course, in today's world, how you eat depends on how well you can use the scriptures of today, which being science. The science of today. Those are the scriptures of today. How you live is intrinsically related to how well you understand the scriptures of the day. And so, yes, your will, your hands, or the effectors of your will, or what carries out your will, if I can put it like that. And so, okay, that is the 28-minute mark. I'm going to pause it here. We are at the arms. That's where I stopped, and that's where I will stop this lesson. Ungai here, guys. And yes, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And you can find us on Facebook. It's Nga there as well. Capital letter N, G, and small letter A. Abalandeli belanga.